I am proud of myself for choosing a new path. When I was working at PNC Bank, I decided to take a chance, take a risk, and I bought a course that said how to get a job in digital marketing with no experience, no degree required. And I thought, ain't no way. I've done, 4 years of a PhD and quit, done this many years in science. Like most times your years doing something is supposed to mean expertise. And yet I felt unexperienced in everything, in every way. Signed up for this course, and you know how people say, too good to be true? It felt too good to be true. It was like, ain't no way y'all dropped out of high school and landed a digital marketing job. Ain't no way. Ain't no way there's this hidden field that nobody has expertise in because the schools aren't teaching it. And it was at that time that there were no digital marketing programs. Now there are master's degrees in digital marketing and bachelor's degrees in digital marketing. And I've looked at the curriculum and I can tell you it's really not what digital marketing is. That's neither here nor there. But digital marketing technically is a tech career. So often we think tech means like Google, Apple, like no. If your job requires you to be technical, it's tech. So what do I mean by that? There are marketers who cannot navigate digital marketing tools, right? So remember that, because that is actually how I ended up creating a subset of a job for myself that I had no idea that's what I was doing. So I'm at PNC. I took this course, and at the time it was like $99. So I didn't have any money. I put it on my credit card that I couldn't pay, and I went through the whole course, learned about what SEO is, what PPC is. Um, he very briefly went over Google Analytics. There was like really nothing in it. It was just like you use Google Analytics to know what's going on with paid ads and SEO. So I didn't think too much about it. I was like, I'm not building a website because I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm trying to do this thing. Like, this sounds like insanity to me. Because again, I told you I don't like to communicate. Meanwhile, marketing is communication. Okay. I this is why I said I did not intend to get a digital marketing job, because I don't like to communicate. Two, I didn't have any money to run any paid ads. Okay. So that was also one way to get experience, was to run paid ads. No, girl, you can't do that with no money. And three, I had built a website before and I hated it. I just didn't like having to figure out the best way to write something for someone to understand, right? Like, and I don't so much mean the words. I mean like the flow of the website. And the irony is these things that I don't like, I do. I do them. Okay. I just don't, I refuse to do them for companies, like internally as an employee. This is so funny. I refuse to take an SEO job. I refuse to take a paid ads job. Okay. I refuse to be a web designer, but I analyze all the things from the lens of those best practices as it relates to the user's experience. So I'm working at PNC, took that course, didn't believe it, got another ad about this boot camp. What? I paid these people, okay, remember I said the digital marketing thing was $99. I paid this boot camp $13,000, okay? And they said, when you're done with us, we're going to get you a job. You are going to get a job. They didn't really get us a job, because they said that they had these partnerships and we were going to get hired. That's not what happened. You actually needed to, again, take action for yourself. And so the irony is, I thought it was too good to be true. Plus, the price was too low for me to trust this $99 course. So I ended up spending $13,000 to basically be around this is the one benefit, digital marketing practitioners, and learn that this actually really is a real field. Like, people are out here making money. One instructor was making, I spent one-on-one time with her because again, I had to change my internal messaging. I had to believe like what I was doing was real. So I used to sit one-on-one with a lot of them. One one instructor was like, I know the trauma of grad school. Um, and I want you to work really, really hard to separate what you're experiencing now from what you experienced in grad school, because this is a non-traditional school, it's a non-traditional career. There there really is no expert, right? Everybody's gonna say they're an expert, they're not an expert. How can you be an expert at something that's always changing? And I was like, what? That sounds interesting. She was like, it's always changing. She was like, for example, again, what makes digital marketing technical is a lot of the work that most people do is impacted by algorithm changes from Google, from Bing. You see that now with the AI news and all of this. A lot of the work is impacted by automation, whether you can automate something or not. So different softwares automate different steps of certain processes. And she was like, if you just remember that things are changing, evolving, it'll help you understand that your level of expertise lies in your ability to evolve. And I was like, I just don't know what I got a word. Hallelujah. You gave me a word that I was not looking for today, because girl, I was gonna tell you I quit. I'm always ready to tell people I quit, by the way. This anyway. So the other instructor told me about her life. She had a boat, she had a lake, she had a house. She was making $300,000 a year, being self-employed, and basically doing like graphic design, like flyers and banners and things like this. And I was like, they paying you what? Like, hold on, girl. You got me in a chokehold. What did you put a number to it? What did you say again? And she was like, 300,000. Like, just no emotion. And I was like, girl, I am too emotional about money. I'm too emotional about this whole career pivot. Like, what are you? I said, so wait, I'm also clashing because the $99 program was teaching us to get jobs in digital marketing. And this program is teaching us to get jobs in digital marketing. I said, but from what I heard from you, you don't have a job. She said, I have a business. And I said, oh, I just, the experience is changing my life. So I was at PNC. I worked through the digital marketing program. I had to get over myself, And the instructor one day, again, I said in previous videos, like, I don't really like to talk and participate. So I literally spent the class. I have this habit where I play Tetris. And if I'm not on my computer, it's called a block game. It's my anxiety relief thing. She calls on me. She was like, Kayla, nobody else is going to answer this. So I already know you're going to have the answer. And I'm like, why do you think I have the answer? I don't even talk in class. And she was like, no, but you talk in your homework assignments. You talk one-on-one in my DMs. I know you have the answer. So come to the front. I'm like, oh, I don't like talking. Okay. Again, this is why I'm vlogging to learn. So she made a statement that stayed with me, which is, we're talking about a T-shaped marketer, and I'm explaining to you all what that means, the T. And it was basically like, there's all these different disciplines within digital marketing, which means there's a lot of jobs for every one of those disciplines. Which ones do you all see on this T that you want to do? And everybody was like basically saying which one they would want to do. One. So one girl was like, I just want to set up social media, like Instagram. She just wanted to do Instagram posts. Somebody else just wanted to write emails. Somebody else just wanted to do Facebook ads. And I'm like, well, okay, this is complicated for me because I don't really want to do any of them, but I want to know, because you remember like the other day when we were like talking about Google Analytics and you showed us like a test account, and she was like, yeah, I said, I want to know how all those things impact the data in Google Analytics. And she was like, girl, nobody asked that kind of question. Like, that's not a thing. Like, no, you are all on my third cohort. Nobody has ever said that to me. How did we get here? Like, that escalated so quickly. She was like, if anybody wants to say that they're a generalist, which a lot of people say they're generalist marketers, they're general marketers. They ain't, but you are. And I'm I'm not insulting you. I'm telling you an actual truth. And I was like, I just feel so like unspecialized, unexperted. You know, you just had this whole conversation about where nobody is really an expert, but we're all experts. And now you're telling me that I'm so general that there's really no job for me. And she was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you. And I was like, I'm so confused right now, homegirl. So one of the exercises in the boot camp was we had to figure out what type of jobs we want to work, what things matter to us. And the thing I said, I want to make a lot of money. I want to I left the lab because one of the things was that I didn't like being in the lab all those hours, even though I liked what I was doing in the lab. I really preferred my time outside with my laptop. and and the teacher said, okay, so you want autonomy. And you know, again, I'm telling you I quit a PhD, but I said, a what? I want a who? Autonomy. And I was like, girl, what do you say? Like, it's just too much. It was too much in a short amount of time, from quitting a PhD to job, just trying to figure out what it is I was going to be doing. And she was like, autonomy. And that I don't want to sway you, but that is going to be difficult when looking for a job. And I was like, what is going on? Like, everything I'm hearing is telling me that I basically don't have an ability to get income from a job. And again, I don't come from a family of business owners. I don't come from people who know anything about entrepreneurship. I mean, they know, like they know, but I mean, they're not doing it. Okay. Like they're not, everybody has jobs. This is most of America. So I'm hearing these things and I'm immediately rejecting them because it's not a truth that I've ever known for myself. It's also not something I've envisioned for myself. But the theme of this is it sounded real familiar, real similar to what the former PhD advisor was saying to me. Like, what are you doing here? He was literally like, you know, my daughter is getting a PhD in business. Her concentration is entrepreneurship. And I was like, why is that even a degree? Like, entrepreneurship is not a job. Like, what are we doing? He was like, mm-hmm. So anyway, here we are. Digital marketing teachers, like, you're a generalist. Other people can say that they are, but I'm telling you that you are. You every way you process every question I've ever given you is generalist. Lean into that. I'm like, girl, I can't lean into that. That's bull. So we have to do this exercise where we start finding actual jobs. I start reading these job descriptions and I'm like, I'm not building out your content calendar. Like, that requires me to sit there and think about what type of content might be best. And really, I don't care about the best content as far as it going viral. Like, everybody, oh my God. I care about the message and who it's supposed to be for. If that video gets 2 freaking views, but those 2 people are impacted and change their lives, that's what I care about. And so the digital marketing instructor was like, how are you going to measure that impact? I said, well, freaking, you like make a system out of it. You connect it to the advertising. You connect the marketing to the advertising to the sales. Like, what are you saying to me? And she was like, you know, typically when you work at a company in a marketing position, you have no idea what the ads team is doing, and you have no idea what the sales, like, you don't know what they're doing. And I was like, what are you saying? Why don't they know? Okay. They don't be knowing. They don't be knowing. Okay. So finish up that program, and for some reason her what I wanted was not really a job. And she wasn't saying that I was unemployable, right? That's not quite what she was saying. She was saying it's not really a job description, it's not really a job title. It might be something where you get hired for something else and then you somehow start to do that thing that you just naturally do. And I didn't understand it at the time because I was looking through the jobs like, all of these are stressing me out. I might as well just go back to the lab where I also don't want to be. And then I said one day, because the PhD lady in English, she came back to PNC and she asked me how my digital marketing bootcamp was going. I basically was telling her, like, I made the worst decision of my life. The day I met you, not maybe, the day I talked to you about analytics, I just got an ad for this. I decided to do this. At the time, my mentor also passed because you got a thing with grief. So I felt like he would be proud that I was finally taking a step to do something more business related, because he also told me I should be doing, he told me I should be doing business. The man retired from Wall Street. Okay. Like, he did business. Neither here nor there. And I was like, I'm lost. I have no idea. So she said, did you focus on the analytics side of that? And I was like, what? Just, do they have something that they do analytics with? And I was like, yeah, Google Analytics. Like, ain't nobody hiring for that. Like, what are you saying? And she was like, search for it, see. I took PNC's personal property, their business property. I pulled up the internet and I Google searched Google Analytics job. Y'all, the jobs popped up. The jobs, literally. My first job title that I landed, Google Analytics Specialist. That day I applied. 10 p.m. that night, the hiring manager called my cell phone. I found this job on Indeed. I thought it was a scam. The company name was Central Bank. I was like, Central Bank? Ain't nobody bank name Central Bank. That's on Indeed. Like, ain't nobody doing this. This is not real. 10 p.m. my phone rang. Hi, is this? Yes. I'm sorry to alarm you and call you so late. Earlier today, your application came through. And y'all, like, the digital marketing program, we hadn't graduated yet. We graduated yet? No, we did graduate, because this was it was like December, so the program was over in October. I said, okay, what the heck is happening? And the lady says, I want to interview you. Your resume is absolutely perfect. And I said, huh? She was like, yeah, I think I hate to say this on the front end, but I think you would be a perfect fit for what we're looking for. I said, huh? She said, but the problem is, we're in Jefferson City, Missouri, and you're in State College, Pennsylvania. And I said, why is that a concern? Again, my qualifiers on how I figure out, like, what are people's hangups. And it also actually answered another question for me about my job applications, why I wasn't getting companies to respond, or why they actually would email me and be like, you seem like a great fit, but you're located in Pennsylvania. So again, part of my applying strategy was like everywhere. I applied everywhere. And she said, well, the concern is, we're what, 13, 14, 15 hours? I said, they're like 15 hours. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to uproot your life for a job? It's not making sense. And I said, oh, I ain't got no life here, girl. I quit that PhD almost 2 years ago. I'm not really trying to be here. And it just so happens I'm actually from the St. Louis area. And she was like, so it would be like coming home. I said, I would be coming home. I would be living there for the first time since the age of 18. I've been away well, technically, in high school, I also was away every summer. So I don't even remember, like, high school years, like, doing anything there. But it's like 15 years roughly since I've been around my family and just family. So it really would be a really nice opportunity for me, because it's close enough that I could go home on the weekends, get my fill of my grandmother at the time and my parents, and go on back to work. And she was like, oh my goodness, I am so glad that I decided to pick up the phone and call you, because I had no idea. And I was like, yeah. So she hung up. And the reason I'm telling this story is because previous video I talked about the conversations that the Cricket manager had with me, the PNC manager, the Dollar Tree manager. And it's like, because of I'm raised by parents who are like, it doesn't behoove you to be vulnerable. It doesn't benefit you to be vulnerable. the things that landed me those jobs were me being vulnerable. And to be honest, the things that don't land me jobs is me being vulnerable. And really, it's really me protecting myself from you when you don't hire me, right? Like that's how I have learned to take it. Because if a company doesn't want to hire you because you're from a different part of the country and they're saying that all of our staff is from Oregon, so we're not sure how you're going to fit. They just told you that they don't really care about anybody outside of Oregon. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like you have to pick up on the messaging when you receive it. So we scheduled an interview, which she also was like, I don't even know how we're doing this because typically, again, we work at the headquarters. People come into the office. People come here to interview. We've never hired like outside of where they're a growing Midwestern bank. So they don't really hire outside of where they have locations. And I was like, I mean, Zoom is a thing, right? And she was like, that is true. We definitely pay for an enterprise Zoom license. And I was like, okay, so I get on camera, you looking at me, I'm looking at you, or y'all not looking at me, but you seeing me and my reactions. Like, I don't know. Girl, like speed dating. Set up a Zoom call. I think it was Zoom. They asked me question after question after question. And every time they would ask me a question, it was like silence. So finally I'm like, hello? And I'm like, the way you think about marketing and the website and the teams that are interacting, and then the consumer, like the customer, because again, this is a bank interviewing me. I'm currently working at a bank as customer service, front facing. I'm solving people's current day pressing problems. I'm selling them credit cards. I literally gave somebody a workshop over their finances, which was not part of my job, but I did it because I wanted them to choose the best credit card offer for them. So I gave them a plan for how they could use the card because they had some upcoming medical expenses and they basically they didn't want to exhaust their savings. So I'm on the interview, I'm explaining my sales process. I said, at PNC, they're telling us which card to promote, for example. I don't know what they're doing now, okay? But I'm telling you what my experience was. They're telling us, well, right now we want the cash rewards card to be the focus of our sales. And I'm going, the cash rewards card has the highest interest rate. I ain't selling that thing if the person actually needs this one over here because they need a balance transfer. And of course, again, I told y'all about when I was at Cricket. You came here to Cricket because you want to spend $100 only on your phone bill with no taxes, right? Yeah, but T-Mobile over there for 110 is a better option. So go next door. That is how I am. So I was telling them that story about those experiences and those customers, both from a banking lens and just in general customer service, working in customer service. And then working as an operations manager and seeing, how customers flow, how they're impacted by great business development or poor business development, which again, I didn't have words for this back then. I just had stories of like experiences and encounters and frustrations and what I would do to solve them, right? People say that, I forget what the framework is for interviewing, but it's like problem solution. Like that's basically how you're explaining yourself. I transitioned all of that to, I'm just going to tell you who I am, how I am, why I am, because really how I solve problems is based on how I am. It's just, I care about people. I take a people-centered lens from everything that I do, and then I deliver the information that they require. Whether it's, no, I can't help you, or yes, I can. So I landed my first job. What I thought was a digital marketing job, I really did. I really thought it was digital marketing. And next video, I thought it was digital marketing.